Hi, it's Daniel Murphy, and today we're going to look at a video of this Side Leaning Mulberry coming down. I learned a lot from this job. Hopefully you can too. Fairly significant sized tree for mulberry. It has a lot of back lean. The lean of this tree is back this way, which is about 90 degrees to our drop zone here. We have some open lawn over here. There's a little apple tree. Got to be concerned about not hitting the apple tree. So the plan right now is to go up here, take this one lead off that's out over top of the pine tree. Once that limb is off of there, then we're going to put a retainer line back to the little pine over here, which is just about perfectly 90 degrees to our drop zone. Hook that up to the back lead, high in the back lead. Use the skid loader to pre-tension that retainer line. Really get a lot of weight off of this tree. Lock it off, and then we're actually going to create a pull, not to our desired direction drop zone, but to the left of it slightly. I would like to pull over here actually to create a vector force directly towards the pin oak, but then the apple tree is going to be in the way, so I'm going to have to go as close to the apple tree as possible with the pull line. The skid loader will do the pulling. So a couple things to be concerned about. Obviously, we've got a major crack here. This whole back lead's ready to go. What I don't want to happen is to have this part of the tree go this way and that part of the tree go that way. If I make the cut down here, I'm below all this big crotchy area here, which should keep it from splitting. Somebody jury-rigged an old piece of rope up there in order to support it. It must have been the neighbor's tree guy over here when the storm happened last winter. The key here is going to be having this retainer line take a lot of weight off that plane. That's going to be the key. Keep this thing in line here. So mulberry, they're heavy. It doesn't look like a big tree, but it's got all that branching structure up there. It's big enough. We've got two retainer lines. We're going through that crotch there, over there. And we've got one pull line that's blue. True blue here is going to be a pull line. And our other line here, that true blue there, is going to be our second pull line. We have two separate pull lines tied either side of the codominant stem on the mulberry, tied to either side of the bucket here. With two lines, we're getting extra pull. I don't even have to worry about overstressing these lines because there's two of them. The skid loader just can't pull that hard when it has turf tracks on grass. If it was on pavement, that would be a much different situation. So this is our right angle retainer line. Actually, see, we have a redirect block set here. We had one rope running through this redirect block. We pulled on that with the skid loader, locked this off, then backed off with the skid loader, took this rope away, and now that rope is now tied to the bucket truck. So this is definitely our right angle retainer line. It's a 3/4 inch line. There's no way it's going anywhere. Well anchored at the tree here, well anchored in the tree that's coming down. Given my retainer line, it's going to this pine tree here. I'm a little too close to this apple tree. So I do have quite a bit of limb weight over here. I need to get it to the right. So I'm going to put a man on the retainer line. Once it clears the fence and the hemlock, he's just going to let that go. And it should land out here somewhere, depending if the hinge fails or not. One of the great things about video is that I can measure how long it takes me to do a specific action. This particular notch and back cut takes 1 minute and 45 seconds. And for a tree this size, if you're falling trees in the woods and you're putting 50 of these trees in the ground a day, and I wasted 30 seconds, that's 25 minutes of my time I wasted by not being able to make that cut in 1 minute and 15 seconds instead of 1 minute and 45. However, in this situation, as a suburban arborist, we did tree pruning all day long. This was the only tree that was being removed. We pruned and cabled, we trimmed up some bamboo, we pruned up a bunch of other trees. So for this one tree, if it took me an extra 30 seconds to cut it down, then that's fine with me. What I'm actually using here is a double cut notch or a plate cut. I think the plate cut's probably a better term because you see this next piece that comes off. You'll see it looks just like a plate. So the plate cut has several advantages. It's easy to cut. It's hard to make a mistake on. The front of the hinge now has tall fibers. It's not just as wide as a curve, but there's some length to those hinge fibers now that makes them a little stronger and gives you a little more latitude with how high you can make the back cut. So that's the cut I'm teaching, which is the plate cut. I usually don't make two plate cuts. In this case, I really don't trust the hinging ability of mulberry, so I wanted to make those fibers actually an extra bit long. Let's see what happens. See how fat that hinge is on this side here? So we're a couple inches here. We're like maybe 6 inches there, 5, 6 inches on that side. That's the way I want it. And that's the way it's going to be when this tree comes over. We should have plenty of pull to break that fat hinge. That fat hinge is going to hold a lot better than a thin hinge. I'm going to jump in this truck, start the engine. You're going to start your engine, be ready to go. I'm just going to start pulling forward. As soon as you see my truck start to move, you move too. And we'll just pull it all over together. Don't stop, just keep it going. I couldn't see exactly what happened because I was driving the truck, but I did hear it graze the apple tree. It looked like it grazed the apple tree. When I watch video, I always listen to a situation like that, and when I listened to it, I didn't hear anything breaking. So I'm guessing it's just a grazing of the apple with no damage, which is just as good as not hitting the apple at all. We'll just have to be a little careful in how we cut it off there. Tree's on the ground. Nobody had to climb the thing. All is well. So why did this happen, and what can we learn from it? That's always what I want to know. Let's take a look here. It looks to me like this hinge, this big fat fiber coming out of the butt of this stump here, shows to me that there was a lot of control from the hinge here. And I'm just guessing that once the tree started moving, the momentum of the tree was now carrying it forward, and it wasn't enough, the side weight wasn't enough to overcome the hinge plus the momentum, even once the retainer line was let go. It just barely is rubbing up against this tree. It really didn't damage the tree here. I'm not seeing any broken branches at all on the apple. A couple quick cuts and she'll be right off of there. I always like to examine my stumps after trees down, looking specifically at the severed fibers of the hinge. You can tell when you examine these hinge fibers how much holding ability they had. Another great benefit of video is that we can actually replay the falling of the tree and listen to those hinge fibers as they moan and start creaking and breaking and ripping. We can tell how much holding ability we got from that. Compare it to this photo of the hinge fibers on the stump and learn a lot about how our hinge is held. It's a bit tough to tell with all that background noise from the equipment as to how long that hinge actually held. It didn't sound like it held very long. Didn't hear much breaking and snapping other than the original pop, which is a confirmation that mulberry is not a very good hinging wood. Based on a careful listening to that last slow motion replay, I think it's pretty clear that the hinge did not hold very far into the fall, and therefore I'm going to have to rethink my earlier theory that the hinge did hold. So if it wasn't the hinge that held, then it had to be the retainer line. Let's go back, take one more look, and see if we could see how long that retainer line stayed taut. Turns out it did stay tight almost all the way to the ground. By this point in the fall, the three pull lines have clearly gone slack. The retainer line, however, is still tight. Right here in this still shot, you can see that straight line to the right is the retainer line there. I outlined it in red so you can get a better look at it. It was still tight there, and it stayed tight a little further in the fall. I originally thought it would be a good video to demonstrate the use of the retainer line and examination of a hinge. In the end, what it turns out being, in my opinion, is a perfect example of how video can be such a valuable tool for learning. Every major sport will always use video to analyze and refine their techniques. And in this case, with tree work, everything happens so fast. When that tree starts falling, who knows exactly how long the hinge held, etc. So in this situation, we can look at the video and we can listen to the video, we can play it back in slow motion, and we can learn to see what worked and what didn't work, or maybe not even what worked or what didn't work, but what was the cause and effect here. And did that fat hinge on that 5-inch hinge on the mulberry, did that help it, give it more strength? Or when that first pop of the hinge went, was that big section of wood pulling out all at once? There were no stringy fibers, therefore we didn't have very much holding ability on that. So this is something that I highly encourage you to do, to videotape yourself and then do what I do, play it back in slow motion, analyze it, learn from it. I have just learned so much from watching videos of myself, and especially of the movement of trees during rigging and falling operations. It's been a tremendous gift. I've taken videos from YouTube, uploaded them, run them in slow motion, analyzed them, using them as training materials to show what not to do, why not to do it, and what could be done differently. Let's learn from these videos. Let's take this industry to the next level. Let's make our jobs more fun, safer, faster, more efficient, easier on the body, and of course more profitable. Thanks very much. Have a great day.